what I'm talking about today is the expansion of our History Museum and the Tech Annex, and you can see that we've actually broke down the barriers. We've knocked down the wall in between the museum into what was the Tech Annex, and now we've expanded this room into a multifunctional space. We've incorporated the technology in with the history, and we've got both things going on at the same time in this now newly expansive room. Yeah, a lot of folks that have come in have really been impressed. They're like, well, wait a second, I thought this room was smaller. And you can see where we've actually broke down the wall in between the two rooms. And then we've gone as far, we've cleaned out all these exhibits. We've painted the walls in a brand new bright blue color. Did some carpet switching around to make the room uniform. But we've got this beautiful new room that's getting more use than it ever did. Unfortunately, we loved the museum, and we still love the exhibits, but it was a room that just wasn't getting the use that it really deserved. And now we've gotten all kinds of new people that are coming in, seeing this newly renovated space and taking advantage of the technology, but also when they're in here, they're saying, oh my gosh, you have all this history of Blue Island. And it's just one of the things that makes us stand out as a library, but as a city as well, because our backstory is here on the walls, and we're working hard to preserve that. To clarify on the rumor that we've thrown away the exhibits, no, that did not happen. What we threw away were these interior walls that were in the museum. These walls that were only, not quite to the ceiling. Those were then they housed many of the exhibits. Those exhibits still exist. The walls are gone. Those exhibits have found new spaces on the walls in here. The bulk of them have gone into the meeting room that's next door to us here, and that is a room that gets all kinds of use all through the week. We have all kinds of story times coming in there, and movies and Wii programming, and outside people coming in to use the room for the projectors and the computers. So there's a whole new base of folks that are able to see these exhibits now. We've also added upstairs. We have a small conference room upstairs, and a couple of the exhibits have gone up to that room. And these used to be just barren walls, and now they've come to life. People waiting for a program to start, people waiting with their children, people coming in for a program. They see some of the things that they never got a chance to see that were in this museum, but because we had big brown doors that had no windows in them, they didn't even know what was in here, and most of the time they just didn't make their way downstairs to get a chance to see it. Now, because these exhibits are on display in the meeting room, they're lit in the two display cases, they're upstairs in our small conference room, more and more people are getting exposure to the great history of Blue Island. What you can see here is there's still an open space, and what we're doing is we're waiting for the Blue Island Police Department is going to put together a display to go with the museum exhibits. We've got the fire house and the firemen represented here, but we never had anything from the police department. And so now Carol Ryle and Chief Hoagland, they're working on an exhibit to fill this space, and we've dedicated it, and it'll be left for the police officers exhibit. One of the things that I really like and that we've improved is we added windows to the big brown doors that we had. And before, if there was a meeting going on or if there was something going on in the History Museum, you had no idea. You had these doors, you could just kind of put your ear up to the door and see try to hear what was going on. Now there's no mystery. We've got these windows, and as you're in the main library room, you can see into the meeting room and to the museum room, Tech Annex room. You can see in there, and we've got two of the display cases within the meeting room illuminated. So as you're standing out there, even if the lights are off in this room, the lights are on in these display cases, and it draws you in. It makes it inviting and makes the patrons feel more welcome to come in. And that was one of the issues before that we had with the museum, is that if those doors were shut, nobody thought that they were invited in to come see what's going on in there. So in this corner of the museum, we've got displays on the railroad, which is a big part in Blue Island history. But the thing that I think is great, and then we're working with Mike Liskey and the Historical Society, is that we want to keep adding to the displays. So now we've renovated this space, but now we want to renovate and add to and make them more inviting, the actual exhibits that are on display. So in this corner, we've got some ideas for things that we could do, possibly running a model railroad, that kind of thing. And we've got some areas in the museum as well that we're thinking about, a couple other neat features that I think the kids, when they come in for their school field trips, some things that are going to bring them in and they're really going to entice them to, to take a look around and see what's going on inside the the museum space.
I'm Ben. This is Steven. Hello. We've been coming here in the Tech Annex for probably a few months, and I've been working on programming a robot. Steven's working on a Scratch, an animation program.
At the moment, I'm working with 5 different sprites. The knight is the main character. I have this witch who is trying to destroy the knight. A dragon, which the witch can turn into. And then this wizard, which is on the knight's team. I have a background. And eventually the castle is going to be destroyed, so it will look like that. So far, I have the knight running around away from the dragon.
We get to program a lot, and we have a lot of fun working on computers. Plus, we learn a lot.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Milons, artist formerly known as Charlie Cash, and this is my story. I do keyboard. I mess a little with the keyboard. I make beats. I'm a producer. I'm an entertainer. I'm a producer / rapper. I'm an entertainer. You know, I do it all. You know, I'm 20 years old. I've been coming to the Tech for a minute, and what got me into the Tech was a friend, and you know, he was telling me about this cool place where you can go and, you know, just be yourself. You know, just I'm here for music. I love music. What got me into music? I love music since I was a little kid. Yeah. Oh, the Tech Annex is great. The Tech Annex is really, you know, good for the simple fact it's more room, so a lot more people can come in, because, you know, like, it wasn't like that at first. So now that it expanded, everything, you know, is better. It's more well-rounded. A lot of more people coming in here, you know. So it was a good idea. With the, you know, old Tech Annex, you couldn't do that because you lift your arm up, you touching the ceiling. You do this, you touching people, because it was so crowded, you touching the wall. So your hand was through the wall. That's how little it was. So the Tech Annex, it does a lot for me. Darren would put me in charge of things that, you know, he talked to me about and, you know, told me other people can't do because he feel that they don't have certain leadership. You know, he always come to me and talk to me about it. So that's what I mean. Well, actually, Northern Lights was like an idea. We wasn't really gonna push it at first, but then, you know, my friend, he had said, man, I got this song that we need to do, and I heard the beat. I started vibing to it. We performed it. We recorded it right here at the Tech Annex. You know, we did our thing. It was real good, you know. Fruity Loops. Fruity Loops. The keyboard, it's a good thing, good tool to make beats with, but I would say Fruity Loops. Keyboard is more time. Everything in Fruity Loops is fun to use, you know. It's not just one thing, because it's such an incredible program, and, you know, it's a program where a person gets on there to do what they love doing. Me personally, I love rapping and I love making beats. I loved rapping as a little kid. I just got into making beats, and I love it almost as much as I love rapping. But rapping will for always ever be my first love. My father, my father and my uncle, they inspired me. Yeah. Well, influences, we all have those. Influences range from everyone, from Jay-Z to Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Ice Cube. Right now, by me doing positive rap, you know, I would say Common, Talib Kweli, you know, artists like that. Lupe Fiasco, you know, he's a great rapper. The Tech Annex play a really big part in my future. You know why? Because everything I'm doing here is going to matter to me in the future. It's going to get me somewhere. I just know it. I surround, the people I'm surrounded by, they're all positive people.
How I found out about Tech Annex is a friend of mine told me that they had a recording studio here. And so I came over here, it was last year, sometime around Christmas, I think November, December, and met Darren and pretty much sat down and just showed him some stuff. And we started working together, and then I started volunteering some time here and working with the kids. And a lot of talent, a lot of talent. I grew up in Marion Park and went to Eisenhower. So I kind of feel like I'm just giving back to my community. I definitely believe in creativity and influence of music. Music's very powerful, and I like to pretty much pass on encouraging stuff, hope. I've been doing this since I started singing at 3. I was performing at like 6 or 7 in church. Performed with my sister. I was in a group called Kids Spectacular, direction of Steve McClary, and performed pretty much all year round. Did some TV, cable, and then as a teenager started listening to Michael W. Smith. He's one of my big influences, and started learning the piano. I had a piano at home, and I just taught myself to play, and it was a good expression for me. Some of the things that I was dealing with as a kid, struggled in school really bad, ADD all the way, call it artist development distraction though. And music's just been an outlet. It's been my saving grace. I thank God for giving me this gift, and I just want to share it with the world. Well, it gives me an opportunity to just express, release some things, connect with other musicians, meet some really great people like Darren and his wife Maria, and of course you, Jim, and just a place to create and express, to get away from the craziness of the world and just come in here, and it's just like a creativity place to just express how I'm feeling. I did a CD called A Song From Me to You. It was basically cover tunes that I covered working with Sound Sonic Entertainment, which is a DJ company under the ownership of John Milons. And I just pretty much I made a CD for friends and family for Christmas, for presents, because I couldn't afford to get presents. So I was able to come in here and I played in the tracks, put it in the computer and recorded it, and sang the vocals. I'm also wrote a couple songs in here just on the spot. We recorded it, put it down. I'm working on a couple projects right now. I was able to make some of my CD covers. Jim helped me out with that because I donated some time for Toy Box Connection at Orland Park Mall at Christmas time. I volunteered and I sang some Christmas stuff and some things, and then was able to give some CDs away. So they helped me with that too. So that really helped. I was a part of the drum circle. They did a couple of them here, where we were able to share our gifts and talents for people and encourage other people and fellow musicians and artists, and it was a blast. It was cool. The technology here is just it's unbelievable, and the people here are just great. Thank you guys. Tech Annex rocks.
Well, I came down here because I like to record my music and everything. I'm a musician. I play the lead guitar, and I like to record my music, and I needed a place to record, and I don't have my own equipment at home. So my family told me that this is the best spot to come and record, so I started coming down here, and I like coming down here, so I come down here to record because this is a good, cool spot to record. Any musician or artist can record and do their stuff down here, the art down here.
Okay. Hello, my name is Demauri Culpepper, and right now I am making a virtual tour of the museum right before we change it all. Right here is this program here is called Google SketchUp, and this is a model of the library museum before this wall right here got knocked down and they expanded the whole Tech Annex more. And this is like just to preserve the history and technology. As you see, I have most of the exhibits down, but sooner or later I'm gonna have all the exhibits down, and the tour will be running also. Darren said it's gonna be on Google Earth, and that's when like someone could click on it, and then it will send them to another site, which will show the virtual tour. Well, when I first saw the Tech Annex, I thought this was like just a place there where people just draw. I didn't know that you could actually record music and make videos, but later on, when I found out about it, I got involved in everything. First of all, it keeps me out of trouble, it keeps me occupied, and it also improve my skills with like animation, my music, and with architecture, which this program also helped me with. I like the variety of people that come down here, and I like also helping people too, because mostly people, they might need help with learn how to play guitar, tuning up a guitar, or with making beats with FL Studio. I can help them with that.
Hello, my name is Tommy Marcus. I am a student at Moraine Valley Community College. I am currently pursuing my AAS degree in digital art design. My instructor, she introduced me to the Tech Annex. I visited, and I was quite surprised that they wanted to find out how they could benefit me, because I came with the intention of seeing how to help them out. After some discussion, I found myself working on their sequence for video sequence, their animated sequence for second-rate productions. Doing that particular project, I really got to understand Adobe Flash, which I did use before, but after using it now, I have a much better understanding. Haven't mastered everything, but I have a better grasp of it, and I am more willing to play with it at home on my own to get a better understanding. The next project that I'm working on is the Tech Annex identity, the actual logo. I have some designs I want to present to them. After that, I have a brochure for the Tech Annex, which explains the services that they offer. When I first came here for my interview for the internship, everything was in disarray, table, dust, hardware, equipment, things were about. But now, after seeing the construction finished, I'm very impressed. There is a very beautiful display of pieces, artifacts, samples from history that I think any long-time resident of Blue Island will appreciate. The idea about combining the museum with the Tech Annex, I think is appropriate, because it sets up a context of understanding, one of history, one of what's going on now, and then Tech Annex, one looking towards the future. I think from a holistic standpoint, you do need to have that, not just simply look at the future and see where we're going. I think you also need to reach back to the past. You can also avoid some things, and you can also learn some things in the process. My experience in the Tech Annex, the environment, I find is very creative. I find that it stimulates me from a creative standpoint. There are times where it is distracting because there's overlapping of sounds, which are very good, but sometimes when you need to focus on something, those sounds can be distracting. But overall, I would say definitely a wonderful work environment, fantastic and enjoyable.